If you watched my last video a few days ago, you should probably know that there's some weird stuff regarding the clown command in Adonis Admin Loader. But since then, I realized that I actually never looked inside of the Adonis admin script itself, which meant that I was possibly missing out on some new discoveries. And so, I hopped on ROBLOX Studio, and what I found was way more than I once thought it would be. So first things first, if you open up the Adonis main module in Studio, you'll be met with a few models in-game. One of the models is a UFO, which we'll talk about later, and next to it is actually the van model used in their clown command. You can even see that they added a logo for something in the back of the driver's seat. Now looking inside the script, I found out that there's actually 4 names that you could use to run the command, and the 2 that I missed were Yoink and You Love Me. And also, if you look right next to the command script, you can find a hidden string of text that wouldn't be visible anywhere but here. It reads as follows. Someone's always watching me, someone's always there. When I'm sleeping he just waits, and he stares. Someone's always standing in the darkest corner of my room. He's tall and wears a suit of black, dressed like the perfect groom. Now, if you couldn't tell already, the hidden text in the script is actually lyrics from the song Slendy's Lullaby by Lily Pichu, and of course the lyrics are referring to Slenderman. Then again, I can't see why this would be here other than to amuse anyone that's viewing the scripts, but that's when I noticed the code that makes a command hidden from the commands list. It made me wonder what other commands were hiding in the script, so I searched it up and I ended up finding some interesting stuff. Starting off small, there's a hidden command called WAT, and all it does is play one of 3 audios.
I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade.
This next hidden command goes by many names as you can see here, but it basically works the same way as the I love you command. When you save the command in chat, this troll face gif will pop up and won't go away unless you leave or reset. Sounds familiar, right? And the next command, nil, forcefully kicks the player out the game with this error message. I remember getting this before and thinking I was hacked since it looks so bizarre. Finally, the most interesting hidden command I discovered was the UFO command, also known as all of these other names here. But before we get into the command, you might notice that under the script lies the same group of text hidden in the clown command, and what this means is that saying only the command in-game also leads to the same messages appearing. I'm starting to feel deja vu now. Anyways, when trying out the command, a UFO flies towards you and abducts you, and before you know it, you're sent to another game. The game that you're sent to is very ominous, and by the looks of it, it seems to be the inside of something very large, possibly the UFO. While you're stuck inside of a white ring, you're also accompanied by a few holograms of players, all doing different actions. And this guy's head is off for some reason. Since I couldn't escape, I ended up resetting, and that's when I was kicked from the game with this message. Diving deeper, I found the game that you'd be sent to, and by using the tap code cipher I managed to decode the title, which read, They Come From Beyond. And by using the nihilist cipher with the key They Come From Beyond, I also managed to decode the description, which reads as this message. Lastly, I decoded the kick message with the same cipher using the key cryptic, and the translated message read as We See. Now for who's the we that's seeing? I have no idea. But regarding the game and the UFO command, this is the last thing I was able to discover. Before I end this video, I just want to ask you guys if you know any of these admin commands on screen. I'm asking because these are all admin commands that were removed from Adonis Admin in 2018, including the kidnap command. But while we know where the kidnap command is today, the rest of these commands are nowhere to be found in Adonis, and the only videos I could find were of the crucify command. But I guess it doesn't really matter, as most of these commands are probably better off being deleted anyways. So yeah, that's all I have to talk about today, so thanks for watching. See ya.